So guys, we just took a look at the Tribute 64 awesome controller from Retrobit, very reminiscent of the Hori Pad 64 and a fraction of the cost and you get one new. So definitely an amazing controller that I am really digging. But the one thing we didn't do was tear this bad boy down. So that's what we're gonna do today. We have a original port and a USB. So we're gonna go ahead and open these up real quick and take a look. Why not? Before we do that though, the other thing I didn't check was putting in like a rumble pack and seeing how if it gets stuck or anything like that. And no, slides in and out very easily. So that's a good thing. But let's go ahead and take this thing apart, right? So it looks like we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on the exterior, and it's a Phillips head. So let's get those out. They just don't want to come out. That's actually kind of a good thing that they're staying in place, like, you know, a millimeter, because they are so hard on any of these controllers to line those back up. Oh man, there one goes. I thought it was gonna stay, but they're always so difficult to line up in this tight spot. Let's see, do we have any screws on the interior? Doesn't look like it, other than, well, we do for the board for the analog stick. AZRB N64001A. And then it does say N64 up there. Pretty nice. Revision A. Nothing else on there. And there's the boards for the L and Z buttons. Let's go ahead and take the analog out. Oh man, I'm slipping here. You gotta be careful. You don't wanna mess anything up. Let's slide the triggers out. The triggers do have the conductive pad attached to them. Very nice. Slide those out if they, there we go. There we go. And then there is the board for the controller with the analog board attached with a cable that is soldered in. Nothing crazy here. Let's take the analog off. It's got a little bit of a flex to the cone there. Not crazy or anything, but it's there. And there's the smooth action analog. But there's the board and everything. You know, fairly standard stuff. There's for the memory card pack or rumble pack. A lot of soldering going on here with this thing, but hey, it's kind of to be expected, right? Let's set that aside for a moment and then take a look at the actual buttons. And this is an interesting choice. The conductive pad is just one big pad for the buttons and the D-pad. Minus the start button has its own. And then there's our D-pad. Little pivot there. Very deep. And it does have a cutout to line up back into the controller. So you can see in there a little spot. So there we go. Might as well just put it back together. Very solid construction with the plastic. All the plastics feel good. There's the start button, the bigger start button. That's the other thing with this version over the Hori. The start button is bigger. So that's something to keep in mind. Well, let's see if we can put this back together, which we should. Everything should just line up. Boom, boom. There we go. Just don't want those cords touching underneath the trigger. I didn't really pay attention to how they were routed in here to begin with. I probably should have looked at that. But I think as long as have them away from there, we'll be fine. Clips right back in. The good thing, because I know some of the other controllers I took apart, the Z buttons that would be up here would always be a pain in the butt. This just clipped right back in, so that was a good thing. So there we go. Everything back together. The buttons still feel fine. I mean, don't know what we expected to see opening this thing. It did have that little blob on the chip. Pretty standard fare stuff, you know, nothing shocking or surprising anyway. The analog stick is amazing, so can't complain. Let's quickly get into this one, the USB one, see if there's any major differences. I highly doubt it. But we're gonna open it real quick and then end the video, so might as well. I mean, we might be surprised, you never know. And these ones don't wanna like fall out, so I'm just gonna leave them in there. Might as well. I mean, they'll probably fall out anyway, but hey. It is what it is. This is the USB controller. Let's take a look. Boom, screws are out. Everything looks the same other than one little difference. I mean, there's the inside. Very basic. Everything's the same. But the one thing that's different is this little guard thing right here. Since this board does not have the memory pack or rumble pack, you know, this wouldn't plug in there. This doesn't have the pins, doesn't have the connector, so they have this piece of plastic to block that. But overall, it looks like everything's the same. Okay, I see how they routed the cables there. Underneath. See if there's anything drastic on the other side. I doubt it, but let's take a look. Oh, and that just popped off. It just kind of clipped onto the posts right there. And this one does not have the blob. So the Nintendo 64 one had the black blob over the chip. This version does not. That is interesting. Nothing, I mean, majorly different here. Everything is the same. Whoops. Everything is the same. The same conductive pad for the buttons. The board looks very similar. Just like I said, the main difference is there's no blob. There's no black blob over that chip. But there we go. All the buttons are marked. AZRB N64 PC 215 Revision A. So there we go, guys. Just wanted to take a look, see what was inside, see if there was any craziness. You know, I'm not seeing like globs of hot glue holding things together. The soldering looks fairly standard. Nothing crazy going on in there. So there we go. Really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Just wanted to show the inside of these controllers real quick because people want to know and I want to show you. And there we go. It's amazing, you know, just this little tiny thing. This little tiny thing for a Nintendo 64 controller. Not Nintendo 64, but you know, the controller. Beautiful. I mean, there we go. So thank you. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. And boom. Bye. Peace out.